Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ifeanyi Artistry. If this is your first time seeing my videos, you are highly welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. Okay guys, so in today's video I'm going to walk you through how I did this my client's makeup, and that is it. Like, it came out as perfect as possible. Let's just dive into the video. Okay guys, so the first thing I did is to clean the face with a micellar water and a clean cotton pad. So I used a clean cotton pad, and you can use wipes for this. You can use wipes, like put the micellar water into the wipes and then use it to clean the face. So using it to clean the face is going to help you to remove every hidden dirt on the skin. And after doing that, you go ahead and use the fan to dry it up. So after that, I'm going to be moisturizing her skin. After drying the skin, we are going to be moisturizing. I'm using the Mercier moisturizer. Like, these Jaydriz have come to be one of my all-time favorite moisturizer ever. You guys already know, like, people on this channel knows that I cannot, like, and you know one funny thing, Jaydriz is a very good product. It's a very good moisturizer. If you want that moisturizer that has primer, like has some ingredients for priming, it helps prime the face to protect the skin against all these heavy things we put on the face. Like, this Jaydriz is one thing that you should get for your clients. And when you put it on and you blend it into the skin, you will notice like the instant glow and instant hydration on the face. So after blending it into the skin, I go ahead and put on my primer as well. I am using the elf primer. So you just the dupe for Hydro Grip, you guys will always say that, so I'm using that equally. So I'm blending that into the skins. I'm so sorry that I didn't show that on the camera. So the elf primer, I'm just going to blend it into the skin properly to make sure that it's blended well. While putting this on, I make sure to avoid the under eyes. I will always say that, so you keep it in mind that you don't allow primers to get under the eyes. So after doing that, I equally go ahead to add the mattifying primer. That is what I'm trying to blend into the skin right now. I didn't really show that very well, unfortunately. So after that, I used my Charlotte Tilbury setting spray to lock in the skin prep. So these days I don't really do too much of skin prepping. I don't do too much. I just do the necessary things I think I should do, and then I move on. Okay guys, so my client already came with her products. So she came with her foundations and a lot of things. She has a Pat McGrath foundation and I think YSL foundation. So I mixed the both together and I used it to I added a little bit of my shade of I think the Huda Beauty foundation, just to get the exact undertone for her. You can see that her face is a little bit darker than her body, is a little bit different. So I had to try and match her face to the body. If you try to look at it very well, you see the difference from her body to her face. There's a little bit of discoloration there. So I'm trying to match the foundation to her body, because at the end of the day, we are aiming to make sure that everything is exact match. Because the clothes she's going to be wearing for the occasion is going to be showing a little bit of her body, like upper part of her body. So like you would want the foundation and everything to match exactly with her face. Okay, so I'm going ahead to blend in these foundations into her skin. I'm just trying to do that. I'm blending everything in with my beauty blender. So I use beauty blender to blend in foundations. I find it so convenient and quite easy for me to do that. Some people prefer using like brushes to blend in foundations, but for me, beauty blender works better for me. And you can use anything that works best for you. Okay, you can just do if brushes works better for you, then do it, right? Okay guys, so moving on, I'm going to be adding concealer to her face as well. Like, she equally came in with a concealer, so I'm using this particular concealer. I think it's a Nars concealer or something. I can't remember the brand. So she came in with this concealer, so I'm using it. It's light, so I'm using it in the inner corners of her face. And then I got my Tarte concealer to use in the outer part, and I realized that the Tarte is a little bit darker, so I changed it to Nuban Beauty concealer. That is from my own brand, from my own box. So I got the Nuban Beauty, and I think in the shade 042, and I mix it with the Tarte concealer to get this particular shade. So after that, I begin to blend it into her skin as well. I'm going to be blending out the ones in the outer part. You see that there are two different concealers, right? So I'm blending out the one, like the mixture, out first, and I'm going to leave the one in the inner part to get tacky a little bit. why before I'm done with other blending that I need to do and come back to it when I'm ready to set. By that time it would have already been better and easier for me to, you know, like it would have been dried a little bit and it will be ready for me. Okay guys, so moving on, I'm just going to go ahead and, you know, like blend every area of her face like very well. And after doing that, I begin to contour her face. So I'm going to be using my Huda Beauty contour stick. So I had bought like Huda Beauty contour stick not quite long, and I've been using that, and I feel so good using that contour stick because like it made me to stop worrying myself about using my foundations to contour the face and all that. So using contour stick makes it a little more like it makes it less stressful for me and a lot more easier. So I just pop on the contour stick and then I do my thing. So I'm just doing that. I contour the two sides of her cheeks and her cheekbone and equally her forehead now. So you know how the face is, the face structure. So when you are doing contour, you're trying to recreate and bring back the face structure, because when you apply your foundation, a lot of like you are blending the same color everywhere, so it kind of take out a little bit of the structure of the face. So with the contour now, you are trying to bring back the face structure, you know, like how the side of the head and the, you know, the cheekbone and everything. So that's basically what we do when you are doing contour. You are bringing back the face structure. Alright guys, so moving on, I'm just going to blend and do that. After that, I'm equally going to be contouring the nose bridge, starting from the beginning of the brows, the eyebrows. So I'm going to equally blend it down. So I'm equally trying to make sure that this nose contour is not bold, like too bold, but I know that I was gonna blend it, you know. So, and at this point I feel like I'm good, I'm okay. So I go ahead to add my blush. So I'm using this blush cup. You guys already, that's my favorite blush. Like I have so many of this cup, and I'm not getting, like, he's not going to finish anytime soon, and I'm not getting tired of it anytime soon. So you guys are going to be seeing a lot of it on my page because it's a very good product. I wonder what I'm going to do when it's finished. Okay guys, so moving on, I'm going to be blending out the concealer that is left under the eyes. You should already see how smooth and the kind of coverage that this concealer has. It has that full coverage that I've wanted. Like it just good. You should already see, like, it doesn't need too much of introduction for you to know what I'm saying. So it has the full coverage. No, I blend it out again to make sure there is no creasing lines and everything is intact, and then I go ahead to, you know, like to set the under eyes. So I'm setting the under eyes with the Mercier setting powder. So and that's like, you don't need me to like really explain this, like how amazing it looks, because it came out looking so amazing and lovely, you know. I hope that is the Mercier. I'm hoping so, because I think it's the Mercier that I used. So you can even see the under eyes, like how popping and how clean and how neat it is. Like it doesn't really need anybody saying too much of it, because that setting powder is amazing, right? Okay guys, so moving on, I'm going to be setting the rest of the face, the rest of the highlighted area, like any place that my highlights touched. I'm going to go ahead and, you know, like set those places in, you know, like set them, because I don't want you wouldn't want to leave any highlighted place not set. So I go ahead to set all of them with my setting powder, and then after setting that, I will go ahead to set the rest of the face. But the rest of the face I'm going to be setting with a normal powder. It's either a compact powder, I'm using a powder palette. So anyone that I feel like I'm going to get the exact shade of my client from, I'll use that powder to set. So for this video, I think I'm using the MAC mineralized powder to set. That's where I saw her exact powder. Okay, so my client had brought in the YSL. I don't know why I didn't show that particular palette. Not a palette, it's a compact powder, the YSL powder. So she had brought it, and is in the shade 404, I think. So she was telling me that it's not, like, she felt after buying it, she felt like it's not very dark on her. I mean, for me, the contour is just perfect. It shouldn't be too much, like the contour shouldn't be too dark for you to know it's contour. is okay for me. The way I'm seeing it, like I feel like it's okay. The contour powder, like it's amazing. I told her like to stop bringing new products to me because I've done her makeup before. Anytime I do her makeup, she keep bringing new products, and the more she brings new product, the more I want to go buy them. So like this YSL powder right now, I feel like I should have some of them. So I don't really know, she should stop bringing powder, and they are too expensive. So well, that's by the way. So I go ahead and set the contour her face. After contouring, then I'm going ahead to set with powder. So I'm setting to set the blush. So I'm setting the blush with the Annie's Beauty blush palette, which is one of the most amazing blush palettes I've actually held. So after that, I go ahead to lock in everything I've done with the setting spray. Actually, I've already started with the brows before I realized, oh, I didn't set my face. I didn't set the face, so let me go ahead and set. So I went ahead to set the face with the setting spray. So I used the Milk Hydro Grip setting spray, the milk setting spray or Milk Hydro Grips, I don't know. The milk setting spray, I use that to like set the face. You can see how neat it is. Like after setting the face, you can really see how neat it is. So because I have already tamed down the brows and I've already put my setting powder on the brows, I just go ahead now to dust it out and then go ahead to start outlining the brows. So for this video, I'm going to be outlining the brows with my gel liner with a gel liner from Hegai and Esther, which I've made my go to gel liner ever since I started doing makeup. I don't know if I've been using like any other brand. Like there's this brands that I use, it's a Nigerian brand, it's just so perfect for me. When something is so perfect, like changing sometimes is a little bit, there are some things I can't really change, honestly. So this gel liner have been one of the best things that I've been using ever since, and I'm not going to go ahead and change. Then I use the angled brush from Merak Cosmetics, and so after outlining the brows, I just go ahead to fill them in with my pencil. But very soon I'm going to be saying bye bye to this Davis pencil because I'm in the UK now. I don't know where I can be buying the Davis pencil, so I'm going to be changing this brand soon. But you see, gel liner, anytime I go back to Nigeria, I will buy a lot of it before coming back. But Davis pencil, yeah, I'm going to be saying bye bye to you if I can, though. I just hope I can. So I'm going to be filling it in with Davis pencil in the shade 003 because like original Davis pencil is just good. Like it's just good. It's just perfect. You can just get the pencil and do your thing instead of buying. I have a lot of expensive pencils that I have bought. Like I've not used any of them. I don't know. Okay guys, so moving on, I use the same concealers that I use under the eyes to conceal the brows. So I'm using them to conceal her brow bone, the eyebrow basically. So I'm just concealing the brows, nothing too special. So sorry guys that I'm yawning. Nothing too special, just I conceal the brows. So there's something that I realized recently. I don't know if it's because I'm in London or because I don't know reason though, but I realized recently that I don't conceal the upper part of the brows. So I don't know if any of you have noticed it, but I tend not to conceal the upper part of the brows now, and I'm more comfortable. I'm not that more comfortable with it, like I'm okay, because I feel like I do justice to them when I outline them. But it's okay because like I feel like they are good. Okay guys, so moving on, after concealing the under eyes, I go ahead and use my brush to blend it together to make sure that everything is okay, and after that I go ahead to set with powder. I always say it guys, like make sure you set the brows. Make sure you set it. So after doing the brows, I go ahead and add setting powder under the eyes to go ahead and do my eyeshadow. Okay guys, like if you look at this skin now, you should know that the skin work is neat. You don't really need anybody to explain it to you, but the skin work is actually neat. Like it's amazing, it's beautiful, and it needs no introduction. Okay guys, so after that I'm adding my eyeshadow primer, the eyeshadow primer. Oh god, sometimes I skip the name, like the name just keep away from my head. I feel like I'm getting too old because I'm beginning to forget things, which should not be. Okay guys, so moving on, I'm just going to be using my palettes. I'm using the nude shade from my palette to create the transition. So I'm creating a transition with the brown shades. Like I have a lot of brown shade, not just one brown, like I mix a lot of brown shades. So sometimes I feel like I don't really think is, I mean, I could have been showing these things, just that when I'm doing makeup and I'm rushing, I just rush and do the makeup. But I do feel like recording it. But when I'm doing like these transition shades, I just pick any. I don't, basically the one I use in the beginning will not even be the one I use in the second eye. So it's nothing, I don't know, it's nothing really. Just pick any brown shade and just try to create a transition. That's just it for me, you know. Alright guys, so moving on, after creating the transition, I go ahead and create the outer V with a more darker shade. So after that, I'm just using my hand to, you know, like blend out the eye primer that is still there. So after blending the primer, there is this eyeshadow palette that my client came with, so I'm just using my hand to pick out the shades that I'm placing on her eyes. I think this is it from, I can't really remember, but it's one big palette that I told her I was gonna go buy it, because it's one that palette, if I just own it, God knows the type of eyeshadows I'll be creating with it, because it's just so amazing and lovely, you know. Sometimes I don't know, you just need it, I just need to use it and create like beautiful shades. Okay guys, so moving on, I just go ahead and line the eyes. I'm just lining her eyes, and I asked my client to look up, look down, you know the drill. So I try to line to make sure, and I'm equally being careful so that she doesn't tear up when I'm lining. So I line the eyes with the gel liner, you know, the gel liner from Zaron Cosmetics. You know, this gel liner, I've been wanting to change the gel liner. Somebody told me not to change it because the brand I want to buy that is going to block, because this Zaron gel liner doesn't block per se. So after everything, I just go ahead and, you know, like dust out the setting powder under her eyes, and equally like re-emphasize everything I've done, you know, trying to blend back, you know, the under eyes, you know, the face, the low light, the blush, the contour, everywhere everything I basically did, I'm just trying to re-emphasize a little bit on them, using the product to just run back to them again to just make sure that they are still new and neat. Remember that I already applied setting powder on this face, right? So don't forget that. But I'm going to go ahead, because I just run through powders again with them, I'm going to go ahead and, you know, redo that again. So I'm equally using my mascara to just, you know, these are just the finishing touches that make your makeup to look outstanding. You have to make sure you do them. So before I use the milk setting spray to, you know, like set the face, but now I'm using my Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. So if you count it, how many times did I set this face? I set it 3 times. First of all, when I finished the priming, second when I finished the skin work, and now when I'm done with the makeup, I've used setting spray all through these 3 junctions. So after this, I'm using the highlights. This is a liquid highlight that I've owned. I think it's from Cosmetics, yeah. So this liquid highlight, I just use it to add glow. Recently, I don't really just like adding the powder glow. I just feel better when I use this liquid. I love the dewiness it gives to the makeup, you know. So after that, I'm using this pencil. You guys, honestly, this particular brown pencil, I got it from Temu. I got it from Temu, and honestly, this brown pencil have been a lifesaver in this UK because I love it so much. I don't know, honestly, sometimes I look for this particular brown. I don't see it from brands. They produce something that will be giving you purple at the end of the day, but I saw a pure brown shade from Temu. I just saw it and I'm like, let me just buy it. How much was it? Not 0 point something pounds. It was not even up to £1, so I just ordered for it. And then when it came, it was amazing. So I said I'm gonna tell you guys. So sometimes just go and buy things from Temu though. So just moving on, after blending, I just, you know, she have this her lipstick. So she said that's what she wants to wear. So had it been she told me about that before, I would have made sure that my lining would have not been too dark. I think she gave it to me when I was already done lining. So I would have made the lining less dark. Like it would have been little, just a little bit of lining, so that these lip stains can pop out. So the reason why I'm saying it is for you to know. So when you want to use this type of lip stain, make sure your lining is not, you know, because I wanted to use a lip stain. This is a lipstick. I wanted to use a lip stain that can overshadow the dark color. Yeah, if it's a lip stain, it would have been able to overshadow the dark color, but nevertheless everything is still fine because I have to find a way to maneuver at the end of the day. So you see that the dark color is no longer there. So when I was done with everything, I had to pop on my gloss on top of the lips, and guys, like everything was looking intact, of course, because I always slay, you know that's what, like I always slay, I know I do. So at the end of the day, I asked my client to hold her breath. I don't like applying this spray on someone and like just like that. I have to let you know because the smell is not all that like friendly. So when I have sprayed the spray on her, then I use my fan to, you know, like dry it up. And then guys, this is actually the end of the video. She was looking astonishing and amazing. Okay guys, please do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, put on your post notifications, and I'm going to definitely see you next time. Bye.